October 24th, 2023. Is there a motion to open tonight's meeting? Trustee Taylor, second. Trustee Sullivan, all in favor. The meeting is hereby open. Can we rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So according to the agenda, we don't have any presentation, so we're going to jump right into courtesy of the floor. Who is here to talk? Bruce, come on up. Come on up, Bruce.
Thank you. I've only got the 3 minutes, so I've written a prepared thing because I'll move my critical mass over here.
Bruce, let me just say this. I know you prepared something in courtesy of the floor. I do, and I think we spoke about this, I do want to put this on for a workshop item at another meeting because I think it's an important issue. It's about the loading zones.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you could talk for your 3 minutes, but I do think this does deserve some more time for.
Well, that was my understanding, but then I was told that I only could have the 3 minutes.
Today you could have 3 minutes, but I'm going to, we'll put this on for a workshop item, but go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll still go fast. Thank you. Good evening, Bruce Richards, 153 Main. I'm here again to speak on my concerns about the safety of placing a loading zone in the most active intersection in the village proper. What I'm trying to do is add to the concern or the goal to improve traffic and pedestrian safety, especially for kids. Okay. Please, I'm sorry. I have compiled some photos to help visualize the situation. Please use them as a reference. I understand the original logic of the placement of the loading zone, but I disagree with its success there. First off, pages 1 and 2, child and pedestrian safety. Prior to the placement of the loading zone at 146 Main, meters 270 and 269 across from the old library, all 3 bollards on the bump out were struck over the 20 years that I have been there, from vehicles and buses turning too wide or going too fast to make the needed clearance. They have now been replaced with newer ones. Thank you. And as this is a school bus zone, it is necessary for the safety and precaution. Now, with the loading zone located directly on the opposite side of the delivery trucks, the delivery trucks are there from 7 a.m. or allowed to be there from 7 a.m. until 6 p.m. on an 11-hour period. The intersection is made even more narrow with traffic entering the space. This loss of egress increases possible accidents. Truck parked in this location block visibility of the stop sign and for the crossing from Sushi Mike to school bus, page 1 in the upper left corner. They further congest the area as school children and parents leave and return from school and make the crossing guard's job more difficult. That'll be in the lower left, page 1. Pages 3 and 4, diminished egress and traffic safety. The trucks disregard the designated area and park in the intersection, covering the wait line and stop sign, and then create a blind corner for traffic. Buses and fire trucks now need to swing wider around the delivery trucks and into the oncoming lane at the intersection, while there is no stop on Cedar as vehicles turn left on the Main at the same point, inviting a collision. The trucks also block the view of the oncoming vehicles on Main for the vehicles turning left on Cedar. Vehicles react by swinging wide to avoid collision, and there's a photograph on that on page 2 on the top. This concern is especially relevant in the mornings as commuters who are rushing to the train and not watching the situation. This makes it very difficult for the crossing guard to be able to do her job efficiently. The deliveries are now see this area, this total area of Cedar and Main, as their area.
Keep going, Bruce.
As their area to load and unload, including the literal curb on the corner. This can be seen on page 4 bottom. Another concern, and this is a newer one for me, is driver safety. This location is unsafe for drivers with delivery using loaded pallet jacks and dollies. There is no curb access for them to use from or curb cut on the current location for the entire block from Cedar Street to Oak. Drivers must walk in the traffic lane against oncoming vehicles to reach Sam's, then go to the corner of Oak, turn left, and to reach the only curb cut to access the sidewalk, and then go uphill to Sam's basement storage, C5 bottom right. This causes all approaching cars to cross the double yellow lane into oncoming traffic to avoid them. This can be seen on page 5, bottom left. It is a hazardous formula and a liability to the village. Sam's is the primary recipient of food deliveries in the village. The Ace truck deliveries delivering to Sam's are active 3 to 4 days a week for approximately 1.5 to 2 hours each time. The drivers need to make several rounds of deliveries using this unsafe method. Finally, my suggestion for the relocation. Relocation, it could be best served around the corner at meter 119. This is the northwest corner of the municipal parking interest at the Zion Episcopal Church, page 6. This area allows opening a high-usage parking area where it is currently on Upper Main for businesses and restaurant parking. It also allows greater safety and visibility to pedestrians, children, and trying to cross the street and traffic safely. It allows the deliveries, this will be on map 6, immediate access to safe sidewalk route at the municipal parking driveway, using that as a curb cut, and it removes the uphill backtrack at Oak Street, so no greater distance is involved. Also, it allows for use of curb cut at north side of Cedar and Main for when they're trying to access Brick Oven. It allows for the outdoor dining at Sushi Mike's to also fully be used, all tables without the delivery truck within 15 feet of the diners. I don't put those photos. This location helps the goal to improve traffic and pedestrian safety. Thank you.
Okay, so Bruce, we will put this on for a workshop because I think it involves much more than 3 minutes.
Okay,
So we
yeah,
will
no,
discuss this.
it's
And I
kind of-
appreciate all the work that you've obviously done on this. It's great. So could you put this on, Rob, for one of the workshops, upcoming workshops?
For November 14th?
If it fits into the agenda, yes.
Okay,
Okay?
we'll do.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you for all these photographs. They're
Thanks.
very helpful.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. And also, I'd like to thank the new village administrator for coming up and doing a site visit, as well as the mayor during the busy Derby
Yes.
race.
That was great. So that's it. I know we spoke then, and I did tell you we would put it on for a workshop, so let's put it on for a workshop.
I will.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. Anybody else for courtesy of the floor? Oh, wow. Come on up, man.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Board. My name is Matt Arone. I am a resident of Dobbs Ferry for 15 years. I live over on Riverside. I'll be quicker than the 3 minutes, I hope. I see that the Ferry Festa was discussed at the workshop meeting earlier tonight, so that's great. That's why I'm here, just to touch base on that real quick. I understand how difficult those decisions are, and I know that was a tough weekend we all had here. I work in municipal recreation for 28 years, so I have to face those challenges all the time. But two things I want to just mention, and hopefully you discuss that and we discuss it a little bit more in the future. We've been doing the Festa for over 20 years. We have to figure out how to do this event with a rain date, and I'm sure you know that. I know the hurdles are the vendors and the bands and the restaurants. However, other communities are pulling off rain dates, and we have to figure that out too. There's no such thing as a rain or shine event anymore. We've had Hurricane Sandy, we have Ida, we've had a snowstorm here, we had that coastal storm. Unless there's an indoor option, we can't advertise that as rain or shine anymore. So that has to change. We could have canceled, the village could have canceled the Festa this year if we had some other plans. So hopefully with some better planning, we can make that change. We had a big event in the municipality I work at that same weekend, and we made the decision Wednesday and Thursday because we knew how bad that Saturday was going to be. And I know that made it very difficult for everybody here. We have plenty of options, especially if the village continues to do that on Columbus Day. We have Sunday and Monday as a holiday, so we could set that up. I know Sunday's more overtime cost for the employees, but it is our premier day here in Dobbs Ferry. That's the day we shine, so we have to really consider that. And my second topic or question is, which I'm more concerned about, is I get upset when the village continues to claim that the Festa, as I mentioned, is our signature event, is not a village event. It is a village event. Our police, our DPW, our recreation department, the village clerk is there, helping people. We take the registration forms at the desk. It's a village event, and we have to admit that. Fees are going to the village, and the village is incurring expenses. It's unfair that the volunteers, some who are in this room, that I've worked with for a long time, feel like they have to apologize and stick their necks out for decisions that should have been made by the department heads and the elected officials and the village. So the village has to take responsibility of this event. I do not know why they don't. We don't. We can't be afraid to embrace the decisions and do it the right way. We have to trust the village professionals like the chief and the DPW and the recreation department and the clerk's office and yourselves. It is a tough decision, but we have to do that. The village received more grief for keeping the event on that day, but if we had done the obvious thing and canceled earlier, it probably would have saved us a lot of heartache. But I think nobody wanting to take claim or responsibility for the festa is really part of the problem, and I think the village really has to do that and claim it. It's our event, so perfect timing. Look at that.
Thank
I
you.
knew it. I spoke just quickly. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you very much.
Okay, anybody else? Yes, Patty?
I'm sorry, Matt, what community do you work for?
Village of Sleepy Hollow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Where hopefully we'll be bringing the Strand back into operation. We're working on that, Matt. Patty Steinschneider, Dobbs Ferry. The only thing I want to say has nothing to do with the Ferry Festa, though I thank Matt's comments. He's been doing this a long time. He knows how it works. I'm here actually to apologize to, nothing to do with the Ferry Festa, but to Valerie Menastra for being a little too over the top at the last meeting. I know it's hard to put all these things together with the affordable housing and all that. I'm very passionate about this. So when I see limitations being placed on it, it gets me up too much. And I know she's working hard on it, and I really appreciate all the work the village is doing. So just had to say that. And that's typical me. I very, very quick, didn't get anywhere near 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you,
I
Patty.
think that's a record for you, Patty.
Don't tempt fate here.
You have some time left.
Anybody else for courtesy of the floor? Okay, so let's move along to taking some action. So at the outset, I have to add a resolution to the agenda, and that would be, I'm going to make that action item number 1, which is concerning the extending the employee stipulation of agreement. So is there a motion to add a action item number 1 regarding the extending of employee stipulation agreement to the agenda? Trustee Sullivan, second. Trustee Galen, all in favor? It's now added to the agenda. We're going to act upon it. So we have a resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Dobbs Ferry extending employee number H7Z072974 stipulation of agreement. Whereas the village is desirous to extend this employee stipulation of agreement from November 19th, 2022 through and including his termination of employment date of October 20th, 2023. Be resolved that the village hereby extends that stipulation agreement as so aforementioned. Is there a motion to approve that? Trustee Taylor, second. Trustee Galen, all in favor? That hereby is approved. Then we'll move then to action item number 2 concerning the same employee.
No.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Okay, got it. So is there a resolution to, which now becomes action item number 2, is there a resolution to consider terminating employee number H7Z072974 as per the New York State Disability Retirement Termination? Trustee Sullivan, second. Trustee Rosen Asher, all in favor? That passes unanimously.
Oh,
Okay. Okay, action item number 3 is to consider a resolution waiving site plan review for an application by Mobius Veterinary Services to complete the initial build-out of a vacant unit at Rivertown Square as recommended by the building inspector. From the building inspector, we did receive a memo explaining why he recommends waiving of the site plan, as well as other documentation, and a letter from McCullough, Goldberger, and Stouts, dated October 16th, 2023. So Laura Lee, do you want to expand upon this
Yes.
a little bit?
Yes, at your last meeting, you adopted a local law which added as a permitted use in the CP, the Chauncey Park zoning district, animal-related uses general. As you know, the petition was brought on behalf of the doctor at Mobius Veterinary Services to make that change. You have adopted that change. In the meantime, the building inspector has looked at the potential for a site plan approval application. Since this is an initial build-out, in other words, this space at the Rivertown Square has never been occupied before, since it's an initial build-out and not a change in use. The building inspector has recommended that this can be handled administratively on behalf of the applicant, and since you have jurisdiction, you would have to accept that and then adopt this as a waiver of that site plan approval.
That was my question. Because of the location of Rivertown Square,
Correct.
we are responsible for the site, any kind of site plan, right?
Yes,
However, this is in pure renovation and signage, so it's really not.
Right.
And the signage should be reviewed by the other boards, yeah?
correct. The sign
Goes-
would be subject to a sign permit, yeah.
Okay, any other questions or comments before we move forward on it? Okay, so is there a resolution approving waiver of site plan review for the initial interior build-out of Unit D10 at 45-55 Hamilton Avenue as recommended by the building inspector? Trustee Patino, second trustee Taylor, all in favor, and hereby passes unanimously. Okay, you're welcome. Action item number 4 now is to consider a resolution to schedule a public hearing to consider an application for site plan approval for a property at 555 Broadway, Mercy University. Again, Laura Lee, do you want to expand upon that?
Sure. This is a matter that you saw in a presentation form about a month ago. You referred it for purposes of an initial review by the planning board. The planning board looked at the extent of the site plan that they're requesting, and they indicated that they didn't feel a need for them to hold a public hearing. It is well within their purview to hold one or not hold one, since ultimately you are responsible to hold the public hearing and approve a site plan. So the applicant's attorney is here as well if you had further questions, but the planning board has opted and waived the opportunity to hold a public hearing at their level.
Part of the reason for that is that it's a fairly straightforward application. This is really mostly improvements to the ball field, so no major, sort of site planning impact to the village neighboring community. And that's why
Well, it does have a scoreboard and a
Yeah.
digital sound.
Yeah.
Has a sound system and it has.
Which you would review at your public hearing.
Right, but we're still going to have a
Yes.
public hearing. So
Yes,
people who
because
want to
it's
weigh
the-
in, they can do it here.
It's
That's
the-
right, but
and
that's why
just
the
like-
site, that's why the planning board isn't.
Wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
Generally, they take the referral and they conduct a public hearing of their own just to get an idea of the extent. But in this case, the criteria of the site plan is really not triggered. But again, this is another one of the zones that you retain jurisdiction for site plan approval. It's the EI zone. So you have to hold a public hearing, and I'm suggesting that you schedule that to entertain the request for a site plan approval for the improvements to the existing athletic fields.
Okay, so is there a motion to schedule a public hearing for November 14, 2023 at 7:30 with regard to the site plan application for Mercy University? Trustee Taylor, second. Trustee Rosenberg, all in favor? It's done. Action item number 5 is to consider a resolution to accept a donation of $250 from the Pilzer Foundation. So, Rob, can you talk about the donation from the Pilzer organization? Or Laura Lee? Or if I get to it in time, maybe I could talk about it.
I honestly don't know what this is. Is it a sponsorship from the Ferry Festa? I believe this was a donation to help defray the costs of the overtime.
No, it doesn't say that, actually, it just says
No, it's Steven.
DPW.
It's a DPW donation.
Okay, do we know who
From an
the,
appreciative customer.
do we know who the Pilzer Foundation is? Should we know that before we
Well,
accept money?
there's a family in Dobbs Ferry
what it is?
with the last name Pilzer.
Okay.
So, you know, that would seem a logical connection.
You can deposit into general fund if it hasn't been earmarked for a particular purpose.
Well, the Pilzer Foundation would like to donate $250 to the Department of Public Works. So, okay,
It doesn't have to be earmarked for a particular purpose.
okay. So we are very grateful to the Pilzer Foundation and family for their donation. And is there a resolution to accept a donation of $250 from the Pilzer Foundation to the village? Trustee Rosenberg, second trustee Galen. All it's approved. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Action item number 6 is to consider a resolution to accept a donation of $1,080 from the Friends of Dobbs Ferry Seniors. If I remember this correctly, I believe the Dobbs Ferry Seniors were going to donate, did donate $1,080 to the Village of Dobbs Ferry for a program to do with painting for the seniors. So we're very much appreciative of that. I think all of us went to their fundraiser. So is there a motion to accept the donation from the Friends of Dobbs Ferry Seniors in the amount of $1,080 to the Village of Dobbs Ferry to cover the cost of a senior art program at the Embassy Center? Trustee Rosen Asher, second trustee Taylor, all in favor? That passes unanimously. Action item number 7 is to, I'm just so glad we're accepting money today. To accept a donation in the amount of $1,000 from the Plitnick Plumbing and Heating Company, $1,300 from Compass Realty, and $500 from the St. John's Riverside Hospital to be used towards sponsorship of the 2023 Ferry Festa. Is there a motion to accept these donations? Trustee Galen, second. Trustee Rosenberg, all in favor? That passes unanimously, and we're really grateful to all these organizations that have donated the money to this event. So we look forward to working with you guys in the future. Thank you very much. Action item number 8 is to consider a resolution authorizing step increases for Assistant Building Inspector John Stone. The resolution lays out that Mr. Stone has been a full-time village employee since August 15th, 2019, and is eligible to receive a step increase on his anniversary of employment. Mr. Stone was not giving a step increase, his annual step increase, and today we are taking care of that. So as per the salary step schedule, Mr. Stone's salary will increase from a grade, I'm not even going to go into all that, to his salary now will be $104,520. The village hereby authorizes the step increase for the Assistant Building Inspector, John Stone, effective August 15, 2023. Is there a motion as I laid it out? Trustee Patino, second. Trustee Taylor, all in favor? That passes unanimously. Action item number 9 is to consider a resolution authorizing a step increase for Fire Inspector Russell Maitland. Russell Maitland has been an employee since June 20th, 2022, and is eligible to receive a step increase on the anniversary of his employment. His salary will now be $84,287. The village hereby authorizes the step increase for Fire Inspector Russell Maitland, effective June 20th, 2023. Is there a motion as I previously laid it out? Trustee Rosenberg, second. Trustee Tino, all in favor? That passes unanimously.
That was a hard choice.
Couldn't think of Trustee Sullivan's last name at the moment, so.
Really hard name for me.
Action item number 10 is to consider a resolution authorizing the grade step increase of Building Department Senior Office Assistant Sarah Collins. Sarah Collins was appointed to the title of Senior Office Assistant in the Building Department effective September 1st, 2021. She has not been assigned a village grade and step schedule increase. The building inspector has recommended placing Sarah Collins on the schedule retroactively to September 1st, 2022. Her salary will increase effective September, has increased, well, I guess, I don't want to say Hasn't passed. September 1st, 2023, it will be $64,328 retroactively. The Board of Trustee hereby authorizes a step increase for Sarah Collins effective September 1st, 2023. Is there a motion? Trustee Sullivan, second. Trustee Galen, all in favor? That passes unanimously. Action item number 11, consider a resolution authorizing a grade and step increase for the Treasury's Office Senior Account Clerk Lance Rose. Whereas Lance Rose was appointed the title of Senior Account Clerk in the Village Treasurer's Office September 13th, 2022. Lance Rose was not assigned the village grade and step schedule, and the village treasurer hereby recommends placing Lance Rose on the grade schedule, which is a salary of $79,228 effective September 13th, 2023. The Village Board of Trustees hereby authorizes placing Lance Rose on the village's step schedule effective September 13th, 2023. Is there a motion to do so? Trustee Rosen-Asher, second. Trustee Patino, all in favor? That passes unanimously. Wait, as soon as we get money in, we'll give them money out.
And more of it.
Yes. Action item number 12 is to authorize a step increase for Rec Department Assistant Gina Bruno. Whereas Gina Bruno was employed full-time by the village since June 1st, 2019. As per the salary step schedule, Ms. Bruno's salary will increase to $65,862. The Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the step increase for Recreation Assistant Gino Bruno effective June 1st, 2023. Is there a motion to approve this? Trustee Rosen-Asher, second. Trustee Taylor, all in favor? That passes unanimously. Just to make clear, Jeff, all of these increases were in the budget.
Correct.
So we've already taken care of this, and the budget's already allowed for this, correct?
Yep.
Okay. And we thank these employees, as I mentioned their names, for all the services that they've rendered to the village. They've been model employees, and we appreciate all the work that they've done. And we are glad that we're finally able to resolve this. So thank you. Action item number 13 is to consider a resolution approving the audit of claims as submitted and recommended by the village treasurer. Jeff, do you have anything to add to this?
No, standard audit.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the audit of claims as outlined by the treasurer? Trustee Sullivan, second. Trustee Taylor, all in favor? That passes unanimously. I'm going to add action item number 14, which is a resolution ratifying an agreement with employee H7Z002311. Is there a motion to add this to the agenda? Trustee Taylor, second. Trustee Rosen-Asher, all in favor? That passes unanimously. I think Trustee Patino has recused himself, so that Trustee Patino has recused himself, so that vote is 6-0 with one abstention. Is that actually an abstention, or is that an abstention?
It's a, recusal, yeah.
Recusal, okay. So
Abstention, recusal.
we've added it to the agenda now, so is there a motion to ratify an agreement with employee number H7Z002311, which the Board of Trustees has reviewed the agreement and has been approved also by the employee? Is there a motion to approve this agreement? Trustee Galen, second. Trustee Rosenberg, all in favor? That passes 6-0. And with that authority, I have the authority to sign the appropriate letter. Okay. It's pretty fast, you have to say, right, Larry? Even you have to say.
It's impressive.
Okay, trustee liaison reports and announcements. Trustee Galen, what do you have for us?
Not much, except I hope everyone's tracking on all the amazing events that the rec department's planned for Halloween. A lot of great downtown events and events across the village, so take a look.
Okay, trustee Rosenberg.
The Affordable Housing Task Force met recently. Everybody was appreciative of the meeting we had last week and the recommendations that were made to the village planner for inclusion in an upcoming RFQ. They did ask that once we start receiving replies to the RFQ, that they and their expertise be included in the process of sorting through those. I leave that to the administrator and the mayor to talk about. And other than that, that's all.
Trustee Sullivan.
The Dobbs Ferry Youth Services Council is having an open gym night on October 27th from 7 to 9 at the high school gym with free pizza, music, and basketball. And there's going to be, Jessica talked about the Halloween events. There's a big event at the waterfront park, but the rec department puts on with, I think, bouncy houses and other stuff. And then you should walk around Cedar and Main because there'll be 80 Halloween paintings that community members did on the different windows.
Okay. Trustee Rosen-Asher.
The Human Rights and Diversity Committee is going to be presenting the board and the mayor with suggestions for follow-up to the community survey, hoping to do some focus groups and further discussions, and also working on a calendar that will help lay out different statements and events and things throughout the year. And I went to the senior center when they had that art class, and it was great. It was a great thing. Talked to a lot of people there, and they were really happy. The seniors seemed to love Senior Week. All of them wanted to tell me how fabulous it was, and they appreciated that so many of us stopped by to talk to them. So, so that was great.
Great. Trustee Patino.
No announcements.
Trustee Taylor.
Sustainable Dobbs is well underway, working on the Climate Smart Community. If you'll remember, Dobbs was originally certified bronze. That is a reapplication that's going on, and with a push to get us to be awarded silver status in terms of our climate sensitivity. And I, among other things, want to thank the volunteers on Sustainable Dobbs who are working on it, and village staff members, many of whom are also helping out mightily with the information that needs to be provided.
Okay, I have a few announcements. One, I think maybe Trustee Galen or Rob can highlight, there was something going on downtown with Viola Water, right? No, not Viola Water,
With
with Optimus. So can you just, Optimum, so can you explain that?
Yeah. Do you want me to take it, Rob?
Rob, do you want to talk about it?
We authorized as part of the sidewalk project renovation on Main Street. Toward the end, we found a way to add some conduit under the sidewalks in order to remove the communications wires overhead. And that work has now begun as of yesterday, I guess. Upon being alerted by a few business owners that perhaps some of the placement of some of the boxes was not optimal, so to speak, for their businesses. Rob and I were able to go down and have a really fantastic conversation with them this morning and talk to them about both safety issues and as far as the placement of the boxes and also location, so that the business owners and the landlords felt that their buildings and their signage were being respected as well. So it worked out, I thought, incredibly well, and the work is going very fast. So they're telling us that in the next couple of days, the boxes will all be done. So you'll see new boxes downtown on the west side of Main Street. And then once those boxes are in and they get turned on, the communications jumbles of rat's nest wires overhead up into the ones that are not the energy wires, but the electrical wires, but Optimum's communications wires can come down. And this will be followed by other communications companies doing the same thing, getting their cables underground. And then I think overhead in Dobbs Ferry is going to be a completely different situation. So it's super, super exciting progress. Yeah. Did I miss anything, Rob?
Rob, you want to add to that?
Yeah, thank you. The only thing I would add is the next phase to this. This was just for the Main Street location, just those limits. I'm talking to the Optimum people to actually do a village-wide removal of antiquated wires as well.
Awesome.
That's
You're my
great.
hero.
Awesome.
Thank Jessica.
I also have an announcement that I'd like to share. We were notified Liz and I were notified that one of our residents achieved the rank of Eagle Scout with the Boy Scouts, and that's Aaron Rary, who's achieved that rank. We're very proud and honored to issue this certificate of appreciation to Aaron. We are looking forward to him. I know he's traveling, I believe, so he's not here, able to attend the meeting to accept it in person, but we certainly have issued it. And we're going to get it to his family as soon as we can, right, Liz?
You already have it.
They already have it. Okay. So, again, Aaron, it's very, very impressive, and we want to congratulate you on attaining this highest rank of scouting. I know it takes a lot of hard work and dedication, so we really are really amazed at the work that you were able to perform. So thank you for everything that you've done, and I know you had to make a real big contribution to the village on your service projects. We appreciate that. I also want to say most of us attended the Historical Society's Walk to Freedom. And
Did you wear the costume?
I did not wear the costume. Shari wore it.
Nah, one of these days.
That would have been in the newsletter.
So we walked from Gould Park down Broadway up to, I guess, the landing. Then we made it to the aqueduct, walked along the aqueduct, came back up and walked to the Mead House. It was quite a walk. We had a fife and drum band with us to help us march, and it was very well attended. We appreciate the kids who came from, I don't think it was Springhurst, it was the middle school, who attended, and.
One of Mike Bettina's daughters.
Was one of what?
One of them was Mike Bettina's.
Oh, that's right, one of your daughters, Mike, was there.
Only daughter.
That's right, your daughter.
I
You
messed up,
corrected me,
sorry.
let me just take over and just tell what it is.
I also want to point out, we did agree that in 2026, we would all dress up.
Okay,
So
all right.
Heard it here.
if you want to stick around,
Should all
or
be
if any of
there,
us are.
yeah.
The big,
Revolutionary
I
Westchester.
have a costume waiting in my closet, so I'll join you.
So that was a very well-attended event, and I appreciate everyone's involvement in that. And as Shari said, we did go to the senior center. We met with the seniors to help them celebrate their senior week, and it was just a very well-attended and a great event. And I also want to say regarding the Embassy Center that Rob, Laura Lee, and Nicole, Steve Trezzo, we were all meeting with the contractors, subcontractors, and all the parties to be on Friday. We had a big meeting to see if we can move this forward. There are only a couple of items left on the punch list, and I feel reassured that things will get done, and we will get that project done. There was a few more things that had to be clarified. I think we clarified that, and we're going to move forward with it. What do you think?
I think it was a very positive outcome, and we'll be happy in the short term that it'll be done
Okay,
sooner than later.
it's a lawyer answer, but we appreciate it.
When they
Okay.
started construction on Gould Park.
Yes, that's the other thing I wanted to say. So Gould Park, the construction has started on that. It's going to be an amazing project. I know it's going to inconvenience people for, I think, until April, but it is moving forward.
I have to correct the mayor again because April is very premature.
Yeah.
I think it will be closer till Memorial Day or June if we're lucky. And then the only other thing I wanted to add is that when we did the Gould Park Playground, there had been donations received for certain plantings and hammocks and other niceties at Gould Park. And so I just want to reassure the generous people that donated that we have not forgotten. It may not be on these specific plans because they were really focused on drainage and the wall, but that we will be implementing those in the second phase once this phase is completed.
Okay. Anything else? If there's nothing else, is there a motion to close tonight's meeting? Trustee Rosen Asher, second. Trustee Patino, all in favor? Meeting is hereby closed.